डायरी ऑफ अ कॉमन मैन के इस लाइव स्ट्रीम में मैं सलीम लालानी आप सबको खुशामदीद कहता हूँ, नमस्कार कहता हूँ, सलाम कहता हूँ, सत श्री अकाल कहता हूँ, वेलकम। तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं आगा खान के नूर के ऊपर। लेकिन इससे पहले कि हम हमारे जो कमेंट देने वाले लोग हैं, उनको लाएँ, उनसे बातचीत करें, उससे पहले मैं थोड़ा-सा बैकग्राउंड दे दूँ नूर के बारे में, ख़ासकर आगा खान के नूर के बारे में। तो सबसे पहले तो ये है कि नूर किसको कहते हैं? नूर जो है वो उसका लिटरल मीनिंग है लाइट, रोशनी। लेकिन कुरान शरीफ में मेरे ख़्याल में एक जगह सूरा अन-नूर में कहा गया 35वीं आयत है कि अल्लाह ताला ये कहते हैं कि मैं ज़मीन और आसमान का नूर हूँ। लेकिन अगर ये तो चलो इस्लाम की बात हो गई, लेकिन अगर आप जमात खाने में चले जाओ, आगा खानी जमात खाने में, तो वहाँ नूर का जो आइडिया है वो हर जगह हर जगह, हर कोने में बिखरा पड़ा हुआ है। एक नियाज़ है, नियाज़ को भी नूर कहा गया, आबे शफ़ा, उसको भी नूर कहा गया, किनानों में। और आगा खान साहब को भी नूर कहा गया, बल्कि आगा खान साहब को तो बाकायदा से अल्लाह कहा गया। लेकिन अब हम थोड़ा-सा चलते हैं, इन दोनों को कंपेयर करते हैं कि भाई कुरान कहता है कि अल्लाह नूर है, नबी साहब भी नहीं है, मौला अली भी नहीं है, कोई नहीं है, सिर्फ़ अल्लाह नूर है। लेकिन यहाँ पर आगा खान साहब नूर हो जाते हैं। अब मैं ये क्यों कहता हूँ कि आगा खान साहब नूर हो जाते हैं? क्योंकि जब भी हम आगा खानियों को ये सवाल पूछते हैं कि भई आप जो है कि आगा खान साहब को क्या मानते हो? तो वो कहते हैं हम ये मानते हैं कि वो शिया इमाम हैं। तो हमने कहा शिया इमाम तो दूसरे भी हैं। तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं, लेकिन हमारे शिया इमाम में अल्लाह का नूर है। तो दूसरे शिया इमाम में नहीं है, हमारे शिया इमाम जो आगा खान साहब हैं, उसमें अल्लाह का नूर है। तो अब हमको समझ में ये नहीं आ रहा है कि कैसे ये होता है कि एक इमाम में नूर है, दूसरे इमाम में नहीं है। एक इंसान में है, दूसरे इंसान में नहीं है। और फिर अल्लाह मियाँ वहाँ कहता है मैं सिर्फ़ मैं ही नूर हूँ। तो फिर हम ये भी तो क्या हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि आगा खान साहब ये कह रहे हैं कि मैं नूर हूँ, मतलब मैं अल्लाह हूँ? ये तो बात वही हो गई ना। अगर अल्लाह कहता है मैं नूर हूँ, आगा खान साहब कहते हैं वो नूर है, तो फिर दोनों में क्या फ़र्क रहा? है ना? तो ये हमारी समझ से बाहर है। तो हम इस्माइलियों को तो हमने बहुत पूछा। मैं तो तकरीबन 8 साल हो गए मुझे पूछते-पूछते, तो मुझे जवाब नहीं मिल रहा है। तो शायद आज हमारे सुनने वालों में कुछ ऐसे लोग होंगे कि जो इस बात का थोड़ा जवाब देंगे और मुझे थोड़ी ये बात को समझने में मदद करेंगे, इमदाद करेंगे। तो मैं आप सबको दावत देता हूँ कि आप सब आइए, ये सवाल का मुझे जवाब दीजिए कि भाई अल्लाह जो नूर है और आगा खान के नूर में क्या फ़र्क है? प्लीज़ आप मुझे बताइए। अगर आप बात करना चाहते हैं मेरे साथ तो हमें बताइए, तो हम आपको ऐड कर लेते हैं। तो आपकी आवाज़ भी आएगी, आपका चेहरा भी आएगा। अगर चेहरा नहीं दिखाना चाहते हो कोई बात नहीं, आवाज़ आएगी आपकी। लेकिन अगर आपको आवाज़ भी नहीं दिखाना है, चेहरा भी नहीं दिखाना है, तो आप कमेंट लिख सकते हो कि जहाँ पर हम आपकी बातों का जवाब देंगे। तो बताइए, कोई ऐड होना चाहता है? Would anybody like to join us? अरे वाह, जोशुआ मुसानी।
Hey,
Hello, how are
hey,
you,
Salim, how are
Joshua?
you? I'm
I'm very
fine.
good.
That was very
I'm
sudden. That was very sudden. I
okay.
haven't even got my trousers on. Lucky it's just up here. That's okay.
That's okay. No, no, we'll focus. We will focus down there. Don't
It
you
is it
worry.
is absolutely wonderful meeting you.
Lovely
First of
meeting you
all,
too.
forgive me for speaking in English. My Hindi is not so good, but if you want, I can still carry on with Hindi.
No, please, no, no, please carry on in whatever language you feel
I feel
comfortable with.
comfortable in. Yes,
And
yes.
in the end, I'll translate it to my Indian listeners. So please
Okay,
go ahead, Joshua.
let me try and put this in Hindi, and then if people don't understand, then I'll put it back into English.
Sure,
Well,
sure.
आपने आपने जो अभी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हेलो आप जो भी लाइन पे है सबको हेलो मेरा नाम है जोशुआ मुसानी मैं इस्माइली था ने सलीम आपकी जैसे मैंने फाइंड आउट किया कि जी इस्माइली है वो सोशल क्लब है पर माय हैंड्स अप आपकी आपके लिए कि आप जो करते हैं वो मैंने भी करने था पर मैंने
अच्छा,
में ट्रेवर आपकी जो ट्रेवर है हैंड्स अप आपने बहुत मेहनत डाली है ने ये ट्रेवर मैंने में नहीं था पर मैंने करना था I wanted to do it, but I didn't have the strength or the stamina to do it. And I hold my hands up to you. It's very, very good. I think you've done an amazing job. Even I couldn't have done as well as you have. I'm telling you.
thank
Now,
you.
coming back to the introduction that you gave.
Yeah.
आपने इंट्रोडक्शन दिया कि जो वो आगा खान का नूर है ये जो नूर आगा खान में है वो झूठ बात नहीं है वो आगा खान में नूर है ये झूठ झूठ बात नहीं है पर अभी आप देखते हैं जो जो ये जेनेसिस बुक है ओल्ड टेस्टामेंट जेनेसिस जी बुक है उसमें लिखा है कि खुदाविन ने दूर लेकर आदमी को बनाया ऑलराइट पर इसमें दूर लेकर आप स्टैचू बनाता है तो ये वो स्टैचू ही है पर इसने जो स्टैचू बनाया इसमें खुदाविन ये नूर डाला इसका नूर डाला उसका नूर डाला तो वो स्टैचू को लाइफ आया
True.
ये थी थी उसकी बात जो भी एडम एडम की बात जो भी आया है वो सबकी अंदर नूर है आज सलीम आपके अंदर खुदा की नूर है मेरे ही अंदर खुदा की नूर है जो भी ये ग्रुप में है सुनता है ने जो ग्रुप में नहीं है ने सुनता है उसमें भी खुदाविन की नूर है आज साइंटिस्ट ने बोला है कि जो जो आदमी का बॉडी है उसमें ये लोग वो लोग को मालूम भी नहीं है कि कैसे होता है पर जी इंसान है इसकी शरीर में 60 वोट का बल्ब लाइट कर सकते हैं इतनी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है तो नहीं इलेक्ट्रिसिटी क्या से आती है जो आपका हार्ट है उसका पल्स होता है राइट जब आपका हार्ट नहीं कम करता है तो आपको शॉक देते हैं पर जो हार्ट कम करता है तो पल्स होता है तो वो पल्स होने में कैसे होता है वो सब है ना कुदरत है वो खुदा की नूर सब में है इसलिए तो आप हम लोग सब जीवते हैं ये तो ये खोटी झूठ बात नहीं है कि आगा खान में नूर है नूर सब आदमी में नूर है
हाँ.
पर ये जो डिसेप्शन है ना कि सब इसकी अंदर नूर है वो डिसेप्शन है
जी जी दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट you've explained it very very beautifully. बहुत अच्छी तरीके से आपने ये बात को समझाया कि भाई हम सब में नूर है अल्लाह की हर खलकत में हर क्रिएशन में फिर वो इंसान हो कि ना हो हर जीव में हर लाइफ में उसका नूर है और हम भी आगा खान की तरह हैं.
या
आगा खान कोई स्पेशल नहीं है तो ये धोखेबाजी ये
Yes.
धोखेबाजी जो हमारे यहाँ की गई जमात खानों में कि आगा खान में ही नूर है, अल्लाह का नूर है और हम में नहीं है, तो ये धोखेबाजी है। तो ये बात बड़ी अच्छी तरीके से जोशुआ ने हमको समझाई। अब हम फरहान की तरफ जाते हैं। फरहान, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सलीम भाई, क्या हाल है?
वालेकुम सलाम फरहान।
कैसे हैं आप सर?
मैं बेहतरीन हूँ, अल्लाह का शुक्र।
You know what, Salim bhai, I just want to say one thing कि मैं I stumbled upon your videos for the first time about a week ago, exactly a week to today. Last Saturday is when I actually stumbled upon your videos. And I really applaud you for what you have done so far. आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। मैं भी एक एक्स इस्माइली हूँ और इत्तेफाक से मैंने भी 2014 में ही छोड़ा था ये मजहब।
अरे क्या बात।
जी, मेरी शादी के बाद जो है, मेरी वाइफ एक्चुअली सुन्नी है, and before we got married I always told her कि you need to join Ismailism. So she did her research. She said okay ठीक है भाई, मैं देखो मैं फैमिली के लिए आपके लिए मैं ज्वाइन करूंगी। But then she told me one thing when I tried to actually force it upon her a little bit कि भाई तुम हो जाओ, क्या बुरी बात है, आगा खान है, ये वो है, मसीहा हैं हमारे, ये सब है। मेरी वाइफ ने रिसर्च किया, उसने बोला मैं मर जाऊंगी मगर अपनी मगफिरत नहीं छोड़ूंगी मैं।
अच्छा।
And so that kind of made me want to do my research as well, and I did, and I started digging up into Ismailism a little bit more because I was never a avid Ismaili. I never went to Jamaat Khana much. And going back to your last debate about Nisar saying कि भाई मेरे दोस्त की शादी नहीं हुई क्योंकि उसने दसों देना छोड़ दी, तो भाई मैं तो बहुत टाइम से दसों नहीं दे रहा था, मेरी शादी भी हो गई और माशाल्लाह से मेरे 2 बच्चे भी हैं, तो अभी वो देने वाली जात ऊपर वाली है, कोई इंसान मुझे कुछ नहीं देगा, ठीक है ना। और मांगना है तो अल्लाह से मांगो, उसका वसीला कोई नहीं है, रसूल पाक से भी कोई नहीं मांगता था। Anyways, going back to the Noor of you know, Allah and that being transferred into Aga Khan. Now a lot of Ismailis don't know about the false Messiah that is supposed to come, and there's a road being paved for him, and they are, you know, there's things that are being put into place. When he comes, everything is going to be ready, and he is going to claim that I am God. Follow me and you will have wealth. Follow me, you will have water. Follow me, you will have bread. Follow me, you will have eternity. And if you don't follow me, and this is where the true believer comes in. If you don't follow me, you will be persecuted. You will be, you know, this will be hell over here for you. And a lot of Ismailis might get enraged by what I'm about to say, but I feel that this is the false Messiah, or he is one of the false Messiahs, paving the way for the actual false Messiah, which is the Dajjal that is going to come. And Ismailis are blindly following him. Even my own family, most of my family is still Ismaili. My parents are, my brother is. And anytime you say anything or question anything, like you say, they don't have an answer for you. But they turn around and get emotional, and they try to emotionally blackmail you instead. That you are wrong, we are right, even though I don't have an answer. No need to question anything. Well, why the hell not?
Correct.
Why can I not question? If I'm using my brain power, if I'm using my intellect to ask something, well, give me an answer. You always tell a child, भाई आपके पास कोई भी सवाल हो पूछो हम लोगों से, ऐसे नहीं जाओ. No question is a stupid question. The only dumb questions are the ones that are not being asked.
Correct.
So why are these questions stupid when you ask them, and then you know you say, oh, जो भी आपके पास मसला है वो करो. Another thing, this is going away from the Noor of Allah. Who gave Aga Khan the authority to collect the son, which is, you know, if you put it in Islamic terms, zakat? 12.5%. Are you serious? आप घर कल लेने जाओगे, अभी interest rates जो है घर के ऊपर, yeah, they're coming back up in the United States, but they were at an all-time low where you could get a house at 2.25%. अगर आपको आज आप अगर बैंक जाओ बोलो मुझे घर खरीदना, वो बोलेगा 12.5% इंटरेस्ट, बोलेगा पागल हो गया ये इंसान.
हाँ
12.5% पे मुझे घर बेच रहा है, पागल तो
जी
नहीं हो गया? Now in
जी
Islam, yes, we do pay zakat. It's
yes
2.5%. Where did
yes
Aga Khan say, let me monopolize it by adding 10 more percent to it? Another thing, when you pay zakat, that zakat is for the poor. You give it to the poor. And
correct
if you are poor and you can barely put food on the table, or you are drowned in debt, where if you pay your zakat and you won't be able to make your payments, that is not obligatory on you. But in Ismailism, it's obligatory on I don't know, from crib to grave, like you say.
oh beyond grave
Yeah, beyond grave, of course, beyond grave. मरने के बाद भी तुम दे रहे हो. So that's the thing. Okay, ठीक है भाई, अगर उसको दसोन लेनी है, उसको रिश्वत लेनी है, जो भी बोल दो उसको, 2.5% अगर लेना है, लो, make it whatever. But I don't agree with him taking any money. And if he is, distribute it within the needy people. Okay, why is it
absolutely
12.5%? That's another
absolutely
question of mine.
but 12 remember Farhan 12.5% is only the beginning
I know.
yeah you know all that don't you the
Yes, of course I do.
majlises
I
and
was an Ismaili, remember?
memanis and there's a long list
Huh.
okay so great points you made Farhan. Let's now go to Gulam Mohammad Patel. Welcome Mr. Patel. Oh yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
I will just speak about few minutes on your Nurani or Noor of Allah and who are
Yeah
the Aga Khans. Give me a
yeah
few minutes. I will read down what I have written. Okay, it's not a long one. My name is Mr. Patel. I will take a few minutes of your listeners and especially Aga Khan followers. Aga
yeah
Khan falsely claims to be descendant of Prophet and Imam. They are not. They are descendant of Iranian Hassan Ali Sabah of Almut and that of Hassan Ali Shah. Aga
right
Khans are, Aga Khans are semi-European Iranians. They are not Shia, Sunni, or even Hindus. They have their own cult of Aga Khanism. They have
yeah
their own separate semi-religious social club known as Jamaat Khanas, where they worship Aga Khan as living Imam and God on earth. Their
yeah
worship chants are known as Ganans, which are mixture of other religious prayers. Aga Khani followers pay a lot of cash money behind closed doors of Jamaat Khana for their
yeah
salvation of the souls and to
yeah
get entry on the lower or higher stages of heaven or Jannat. Present Aga Khan IV, Karim Aga Khan, is an illegitimate child of Joan Yardi Buller, his mother. She has
yeah
officially confirmed in Paris court that she gave birth to this illegitimate child. The English
yes
dictionary meaning of illegitimate child is a love child or a bastard. Hindi translation
yes
is najais or haram ki aulad. Aga Khan,
अरे वाह
Aga Khan, illegitimate living imam and living gods are sex made and money greedy cult leader who collect cash money and even sell dirty bath water, claiming to be holy water to their followers. Karim Aga Khan was charged twice by his ex-wives millions for settlement. He has many European singers, dancers, and blues women for his sex pleasure. We
yeah
understand his earlier girlfriend has also given a birth to an illegitimate child. If Aga Khan members or followers
Hmm.
are happy to worship illegitimate Imam, good luck. Sorry, it should be bad luck to them. I mean, Allah Hafiz. That's my.
Well said beautifully said
I don't know
very
whether. Okay, carry on.
Joshua found it very funny. I could see him
It's
laughing
not
his head
funny,
I
it's
off.
a
cannot, I
fact.
cannot, I cannot believe it. But he, you know what? I can't see why I find it funny, right? Is when you have something like this, which is absolutely hilarious, and when it's actually presented, and it is actually the truth. What he said is actually the truth,
Yes.
right? And yes, for use of a better word, he is a bastard. You know,
Yeah,
and
he
I
is a
but
Well
bastard.
agreed.
Mr. Patel,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
well said. Well
Very well
said.
said.
It's not
And
a funny. It's not a funny thing. It's a fact.
No, I'm not. I'm not mocking you, Mr. Patel.
Let me say, it's not a fact. I'm from Bombay and I'm from Bindi Bazaar, where
so
Right.
am I. So am
So-
I.
There you go. It's a small world.
I'm a very young man of 85 years old.
Oh wow. Well done.
My most of the friends are Khojas, Panjwani, Lalani, Virani, Surani, and you name it. My
This is
colleague
it.
and student.
It's
So I know, and I used to live in Mukhi building as well, by the way. So I know what it is, Aga Khan. Unfortunately, I'm here in London for almost 55 years. So
Yes.
back home, if my friends still if they're alive, Panjwani
Yes.
and Virani, then I would have
Yes.
told them. But unfortunately, at that time, Mr. Lalani, was not on the screen. Then I would have told them. But anyway, to
Well,
cut it short,
it's
okay.
all,
it,
all
it's
If
this,
I
funny
may
and
ask
it's
a
sad.
question,
It is funny
all
and
this,
it's sad.
yes, carry on.
yeah. Can I
It's
ask a couple of questions? Oh, okay. Sorry.
no. All
Go
I
on.
wanted to say is that I find it really funny and sad at the same time. Is that claiming to have the Noor of Allah gives you the godly right to spread your word in the way where having illegitimate children are okay, consuming alcohol is okay, consuming riba is okay, but it's in the it's in the name of Islam is what they're doing it, right? It's okay for them and their families to do all of it, but their murids, if they do it, God forbid, murids do it in Jamaat Khana. Hi, तूने सुना अली के बेटे ने क्या कर लिया? हाय तूने सुना ये जावेद के बेटे ने क्या किया? उसकी बेटी तो इसकी बेटी तो ऐसी है, उसकी बेटी ऐसी। भाई तुम्हारा आगा खान ऐसा है, वो नहीं आगा खान तो भाई प्योर है, वो तो कुछ भी कर ले, हम लोग तो आंखों पे पट्टी डाल के हम लोग जो है दूसरी तरफ दे देंगे। ये तो वो बात हुई, उल्टे गाल पे चमाट मारो, सीधा गाल तो भाई यहाँ पे भी मार दो वाली बात हो गई।
No.
सही बात।
Farhan, I got to
Yes.
stop you there. You see, what you said is very true. Absolutely. There's no lie in it whatsoever. But there is one thing. When you tell an Ismaili that, look, when an Ismaili says anything like that, and you tell them, hold on a minute, what you're saying about these people is very true. But what about the Aga Khan? He's actually jumping out of one bed into another, and he'll stop you and he'll say, oh, whoa, calm down. You must understand one thing. This is an Ismaili speaking now. He'll say, you have to understand one thing. Okay? What the Aga Khan does in his private and material life is none of your concern or mine.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
But what we follow is the Noor. If this is the case, like I started from the beginning, well, if this is the case and we follow the Noor and we give dason to the Noor, can admin actually put my email address here? Because I have the Noor of God too, and you can send your dason to me.
So then that's a faulty Noor. There are so many faults in that Noor.
No, because I don't need anybody's money. Thank God that I have my own. So what I will do with this money is I will fully account it. I will log every penny and I will give it to the poor on the streets. Because that is what you should do with your money.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly.
Do one thing. When you have your dason, do not 12.5%, do 25%. But go out there and give it to the poor and walk away.
Oh,
Just
isn't
give
there
it
a
to them and
majlis
walk
for
away.
that also, the 1/4 majlis as well, where people, their murids donate 25%? There's a special majlis for that. The 1/4 majlis is what I heard when I was in Dubai.
But the other majlis I heard about from, I never knew some of these majlises. I don't even know. And I was an Ismaili for 37 years. You know, I changed in 1999, and I tell you, Salim Lalani brought these majlises out, and I thought, whoa, hold on a minute. No one told me about this. Otherwise, I would have joined. You know what I mean? But there's an majlis where is it? Salim, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Kurbani, where you take a life insurance policy and the beneficiary is the Aga Khan, AKD, whatever?
Oh, no. The life insurance has got nothing to do with the Majlis. Life insurance policy is an initiative of Aga Khan Foundation. So
Okay.
Aga Khan Foundation is very separate from Jamaat Khana. Okay. So Majlis happens in the Jamaat Khana. Life
Yeah.
insurance policy is a Aga Khan Foundation initiative. So, and it happens to be one of the initiatives. So you can take out a life insurance policy and make Aga Khan Foundation the beneficiary, or you can leave a bequest in your will that if I die, then my assets and my property should go to Aga Khan Foundation. So please don't
Right.
mix the two. Okay,
Yeah.
now,
Okay.
Joshua, there is a very special guest that I see in the comment section, Mr. Ramin Khan. This person, I'm so glad he's here because he's been making a few interesting remarks about me and my work on YouTube, and I invited him to come, and he has come. So, Ramin Khan, Zahid, beta, could you please forward the link to Ramin Khan so he can express himself and talk to us? I would love to talk to Ramin. Acha, whilst
And just like that, they
Zahid,
disappear.
Zahid, beta, can you hear me?
जी
Where
सर
is he?
जी सर मैंने लिंक सेंड किया है रमीन
Okay.
को मैंने मेंशन किया है रमीन ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं स्ट्रीम यार्ड के लिंक से
अच्छा, उसको आपने वो लिंक भेजा है रमीन खान को?
सर ये कमेंट्स के अंदर भी है और हमारी वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन के अंदर भी है जहां से मर्जी ज्वाइन
अच्छा अच्छा, तो रमीन खान साहब आप आइए, जो आप लिख रहे थे यूट्यूब पे वो आके हम सबको सुनाइए, तो हम शायद आपसे बात कर सकते हैं। अच्छा, तो रमीन
Can I
खान
ask
साहब,
one more question while we wait for Amin Khan?
yes, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Farhan, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. Farhan, I wanted to ask you, if I may,
Yes.
you said that there's a Antichrist, I believe you said, or someone who's
Yes,
going
the
to come?
Dajjal, the
Well,
false
Dajjal.
Messiah.
Can I ask where you got that version from?
That is from the hadiths, and those are the words of the prophet, and those are in all the they're in multiple hadiths that you can actually. I don't have the actual copy of it, but it is the Antichrist, and the prophet, peace be upon him, used to bring that up to all of his followers, and all of the prophets of Allah have actually explained about the Dajjal to their followers, but Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who actually gave the full description of the Dajjal.
Okay, so if I may stop you there, what it is that we have to remember that quite a lot of the Quran is actually from the New Testament and the Old Testament, and this strikes a bell for me because in the book of Revelation, it talks about the Antichrist coming.
Yes, that is him.
That is him. The Antichrist.
Yes, that is the Antichrist.
Yeah. So the Antichrist, it says, the Antichrist will come from the synagogue of Satan. Okay? So if you look at the world today, without taking this conversation away from what we are supposed to be talking about, so I'll very, very briefly explain it. What it is that it states that it comes from the synagogue of Satan. Now, when it says synagogue of Satan, synagogue aims at Jewish community, but it's not the Jews. If you look at the history of the world, there was a tribe, the Turkic people, not the Turkish people, the Turkic people from the other side of the Caspian Sea, from the steppes. Now, they converted to Judaism in 850. And then they were actually moved on by the Mongols. And when they were moved on, they moved on to Russia and Germany. Hence, Rasputin. Rasputin was part of the Turkic community. So these people who went to Russia and to Germany, they are the warring faction of the Jewish people. today, if you look at the true Jewish people, when they are in Palestine, they will stand on the side of the Palestinians. All right?
Yes.
Okay? But the Zionist people are the ones on the other side firing bullets at the Palestinians.
Yep. You are
Okay?
absolutely correct.
So, yeah, so the Zionist people came from the Turkic people who came to Germany and Russia. Okay? And the Antichrist will come from them. So it's the synagogue of Satan, which is the Zionist people. So the Antichrist will be risen from them.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Yes.
Sorry,
And
yes,
Jo-
go on.
also,
Joshua,
before he
it's
comes-
very
Yeah.
important. Farhan,
Yeah,
wait,
go on.
wait.
Can I
Guys,
say- Can I
obviously
correct
you're...
Mr. Masani?
Yeah.
No. Gulam Ali, wait.
Okay, I'm all of a sudden I'm in popular demand. I'm going to be thrown out of the show.
Yeah,
Go
no. Joshua, your knowledge is wonderful, and we'd like to hear more from you. But it is very important that we, on this forum, we only talk about what is relevant to the subject.
Salim, I totally agree with you. Sorry, Salim, I totally agree with you. But
So-
when I started, I did apologize and I said that I am taking it away from the topic, but I
No,
will be very
please.
brief. Yeah?
Yeah, but please don't. Otherwise, what will happen is everybody will go everywhere, and
I agree.
the topic will be digressed. So,
Okay.
so we don't want to do that.
Can I
So
just
if I may say one thing.
Masani sir,
Yeah.
one simple word. He said the Quran is from Old Testament and all. It is wrong. Quran is
No. We're not
No,
discussing that.
let's not have. We're not discussing that.
No.
we are
if
not
I can-
discussing
if I
that.
can-
I'm just
Right,
correcting.
if I can.
It's only for
No,
the
no.
correction.
There's no need. No
No-
correction. No correction.
No
Let's-
correction. No nothing.
Salim,
You can
please,
call
please.
Joshua. You
Salim,
can call
please
Joshua.
accept my apologies. Please
No,
accept
let
my
me speak.
apologies. I shouldn't have diverted the conversation.
Exactly.
Farhan, maybe
Yes.
if you can contact me, we'd have a great conversation about this.
Sure.
Mr.
Please,
Mr. Patel, look, I am just like Salim Lalani. I'm not hiding my name. My name is Joshua Musani, and you can find me on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is open. There's nothing hidden on there. You guys can contact me at any time, and we can carry on this conversation. Salim, my apologies. Let's get on with the show.
That's okay. So this is not only for Joshua, it is for everyone that participates. Please keep to the topic, otherwise we will run out of time before we know. Okay. All right. Now this guy Ramin Khan, he is I don't know why he is not facing me. I think we all know why. These are cowards who basically attack people from behind. Okay, when they are asked to come in the front and talk to us, they run away. So, Ramin Khan, we do not have time for your comments. You have been invited to talk to us. We can talk in your language, and you have refused to do it. So we are basically not going to entertain your comments, and we are not going to invite you either on this stream. So please log yourself out. You are not welcome on this stream. The reason why you are not welcome is because you have been given ample opportunity to express yourself in my face, not behind my back. And you have done it continuously on YouTube, and you're doing it here as well. All right. So you are not welcome. Yes, Joshua, you want to say something?
Yeah, if I may. If I may say that I don't agree with everything you said. All right, I'll tell you why. Because with my experience with Ismailis, when you say anything and you say to them that I'm an ex-Ismaili, straight away the wall starts being built. They've suddenly become bricklayers and they start building walls. And then by the time you say about the Aga Khan, they say, how dare you speak about the Aga Khan? Okay, well, I'm sorry I said anything, but can you explain what the Aga Khan is? Do you know the history of the Aga Khans? Do you know the history of Ismailism? And they say, oh, that's a personal thing. Religion is a personal thing. I don't have to tell you anything. These are Ismailis. What they are is, these are people who I call sheep. They are
Yeah.
just there, like you said before. It's a social club. They want to go to the social club. They want to socialize. They want to have a good time. They want to show off their goods, their material stuff, and then go home and say, "Look, I myself, I used to be in Nandi, in the Nandi procession there, and I used to sort of say,
Yes.
right, I'm going to put my hand up, and I'm not going to put it down. I buy this thing for whatever it costs because I
Yep.
want to show everybody that I've got money too." Right? I've done it.
Correct.
We've all done it. All these Smileys have done it. Okay, but
Correct.
you see,
Correct.
this is these Smileys. They don't know what they're doing. Unfortunately,
Correct.
they don't. But the problem we are going to face is trying to break that wall to try and explain to them that, look, we're not trying to change you in any way. Like you said, Salim, that go to Kane, do what you're doing. But you know what? Do it with an informed mind. Know what you're doing. I'm going to Kane because I'm socialized. I'm going to Kane because I like the Aga Khan or I follow the Aga Khan. He's got the Noor. And then if you're questioned, all right, then be able to explain it. It's like when I left Ismailism, I became a Christian first. So when I had a lot of problems with my family because I tried to convert them very much. And my pastor pulled me over to one side and said, "Look, hold on, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, look, they're in a false religion. I want to change." "No, you can't do that. That's not your job to do. If their heart must be in it." So one Sunday morning, what as a family on Sundays we used to get up together, and we used to have a sort of like go downstairs, and we used to cook together and have breakfast together. So when we were sitting down to breakfast, I said to my family that, "Listen, I know I've been forcing you to change your religion, but I no longer will do that. I'm not going to do that anymore. But what I insist, absolutely insist, that if you say that you are an Ismaili, be a knowledgeable Ismaili. Be one that you have got pride in it. So that when anybody says to you, why are you an Ismaili? Then you should be able to stand up and say, I'm an Ismaili because this is then this and this, right? And that's the way you should be." And I said, "I don't care if you come back to me and say, look, I want to be an Ismaili, I want to be a Muslim, I want to be a Hindu, I want to be a Buddhist. It doesn't matter what you want to be, but be what you want to be out of out of out of an informed mind, not because you were born into it, not by saying, why are you an Ismaili? Oh, I'm an Ismaili because, come on, get real. My father, my mother, my grandfather, my ancestors, they're all Ismailis. Well, you're wrong. Your ancestors were Hindus. All right. Okay. So why are you an Ismaili? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it
Okay.
must be an
Sure.
informed choice. That's what I'm saying. You know?
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. Really appreciate your comments. Now, does anybody else have any questions? Uh, we definitely have Mr. Patel, Farhan, and Joshua to talk to us, but I would like to make sure that everybody gets a chance. Any questions? Anybody would like to join us? Please do. Otherwise, we'll carry on with these three that we've got. Uh, Zahid, did we get any questions from anyone else apart from Ramin Khan?
Sir, there are a few questions in comment sections. If you want, I will display on the screen. You can read and answer them.
Hey,
Yeah,
Salim, there's
the
a comment
last
on
one.
here, like we had said. You know, when you ask Ismailis, they say what Aga Khan does on his personal time is something. There's a comment on here saying what he does in his personal life is Imam's own business.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Again,
yeah,
so, you know, I thought faith and personal life were one thing.
yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
you know, like it's like when you talk about like myself, right? If I said to my children that, listen, you must be faithful people, you must be good people, you mustn't do bad things, you mustn't steal, you mustn't do this, right? And then I
Mhm.
go out there and rob banks, and I go and womanize, and when people want to find me, they'll find me in a brothel. Is that right?
No,
Is that right? Can I
no,
tell my children not to do something, and the
Mm.
next thing my child comes looking for me and finds me in a brothel and brings me home drunk? Is that right?
no.
Is
But
that right?
okay, so in turn, you tell them, hey, that's my personal life. Don't bother.
And my
Don't worry
kids are
about
gonna
it,
love
beta,
that.
beta, beti. I'm okay. I'm a good person. But that was my personal life. You know, none of your business.
Well, and the other thing I need to point out is that, like, Begum Salima, right? Her name was she was
Sarah
she was
Kapoor.
yeah, but she was Lady Crichton Stewart before she married Aga Khan. All right.
Yes.
Now she was the youngest son's wife, but in my life I in for my sins I was a chauffeur in London. And one person I used to look after is I used to look after a number of royal families. And one of the people I used to look after was Lady Helen Crichton Stewart, who was actually Begum Salima's Babi at the time. It was her husband's elder brother's wife. Okay.
Right.
So I used to look after her. And when I found out, I sort of like got very friendly with all my clients. When I found out who she was, I actually said to her, look, is there any chance you could actually invite me to one of the parties where Aga Khan's going to be? And she said to me, Joshua, I would love to invite you to the party, but there's one problem. I said, what's the problem? And she said, you need to keep away from this guy. He's an incredibly dangerous man. Okay. Even the people around him, they know not to mess with him because he's too dangerous. And I said, well, I'm not really bothered about that. He can do what he wants to do to me. Right. But she wouldn't invite me because she didn't want the hassle of that. But she did say to me that you have to be careful and you must not aggravate him because he has sources and he can do things. But at that time, I remember I just left Ismailism, and I said to my wife, who was still an Ismaili, and my wife and myself used to have a lot of arguments. And I said to my wife, you know what? I wish someone would go and hit him, whack him with a baseball bat. And I don't know if you remember, in 2001, he was actually jogging in the park, and two guys actually assaulted him. All right, and beat him up very badly. He was in hospital, and they stole his car. All right, and that happened a couple of weeks after I talked to my wife, and I said, "See, there is a God, right? And He's listening to me, So there you go.
Miracles
But
do
there
happen.
you go. Well, these things do happen,
Yes, they do.
But unfortunately, I just cannot wait. The thing I'm waiting for is when he passes. Which one of his children? I think his daughter's going to take over, but I don't know which one of his children will
I
take
feel
over.
like the youngest
There
one
is
will take over. Ali Muhammad will take over.
Can I butt in, please? Can I butt in?
There you go.
Okay.
Farhan, you've been naughty and so have I. We've been talking out of context here.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's why I
I'm
almost
telling
got
you.
kicked out of class.
Yeah, actually, there is a comment here that you guys
Oh,
should
okay.
be kicked out, both of you. So I'm not going to kick you out, but this is a good warning that
No, I think
we should
Salim,
move on.
I am gonna interrupt here, Salim. I think the person who made the comment, right, should seriously come on and explain why they made the comment and why they want us kicked out. What do you think, Farhan?
I didn't read that comment, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
Could you tell me what the comment was?
No. Basically, what they're saying is we are not talking about the topic. That's what they say.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
No,
I agree. I agree
okay.
with the comment maker.
Okay.
So please not talk about other things. We will have plenty of chance offline to talk
Okay.
about these things, because I
No
want to
problem.
talk to you, Joshua, and I want to talk to Farhan, and I want to talk to Ghulam Mohammad Bhai as well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Now, somebody has asked a very relevant question, and they've said, "Can any Ismaili in this forum can they explain to me the concept of Noor? Any Ismaili, not an ex-Ismaili, any Ismaili.
They can.
So, is there
Is there an Ismaili here?
is there an Ismaili that would like to explain the concept of Noor to all of us?
Should I play the Jeopardy
Anyone?
music in the background?
No. Okay, Karim Fidai says, pure form of light of Allah. So Karim Fidai, why don't you join us and talk to us
Yes.
so we can question you as well all together. Could you please come? Okay, if you can only type, it's not going to work because the Noor of Allah will need explanation. You cannot write. So if you cannot talk, you and Ramin Khan, you were both basically speechless. Uh, Only your hands are working, your fingers are working, but your tongue has basically been disabled by this forum. So you better not join this forum because this is not for people like you. This is for people who are truthful. Okay, so please leave us. All right. And one warning to Karim Nathu, please do not use foul language. If I see one more comment which has got foul language, I'll have you blocked. I'm sorry, but I have to be respectful to a lot of people who are very respectful people here. So please refrain from making foul comments. Even if it is about Aga Khan, do not use foul language. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, guys, the Noor of Allah. Let's have a discussion on the Noor of Allah.
So I feel that
Yeah.
the Noor of Allah, if
Yeah.
we are going to that, and if Ismailis are claiming that Aga Khan has the Noor of Allah, well, then the
Yeah.
first person who should have ever had the Noor of Allah should have been Adam alayhi salam, because he was actually created in heaven and brought down on this earth. And then also because he sinned, he ate from the forbidden tree. Okay. Now, when he was sent down on this earth as a punishment, he was also given a dua by Allah to recite so his sins can be forgiven. But shouldn't that retract all the way back to Adam alayhi salam to have the first Noor of Allah and then all the prophets after him? They were all humans.
But there is a problem with that concept. There is a problem with that concept, Farhan. As Joshua said earlier, right in the beginning, he said, and we need to understand that if we are only going to assign the Noor to the Prophet or the Imam, there's going to be a problem, because each and every creation of Allah is Allah's Noor. Without His Noor, nothing can live and nothing can operate. So,
which is pretty much the spirit.
Which is pretty much the spirit. And the spirit is in all of us. So we can be prophets, we can be imams, we can be whatever. Okay. So every little creature is got the Noor of Allah. Yeah, Joshua, you want to say something?
Yeah. Farhan, I don't know if you were here when I said it, but like the way I explained it is that God made the first man, who was Adam.
Yes,
and
I was here.
Yeah, so he made him from the soil, and the soul. He made a statue, and then he put his spirit into him. Okay, and the spirit that he put into the statue brought the statue to life. And then from Adam, we have all had that Noor in us. It's not like orange squash that it gets diluted on as it goes down. It just carries on, and it multiplies as it carries on. So every human being has the right amount and the same amount of Noor. Okay, and it's true. I'm not disputing it. It is true that the Aga Khan has the Noor of Allah, and so do I. So does Salim, and so do you, Farhan, and so does Mr. Patel. I'm not forgetting you, Mr. Patel. You're there. So we all have it. Okay, but it's the fact that people make use of things and they manipulate people into thinking that they don't have it. I'm the one who's got it. You don't have it. But you know what? I can actually make things happen for you, but send me money or give me money, buy the money. And this is what happens. It's like One of my aunts has passed away in Canada a few weeks ago, and they're having a ceremony in Jamaat Khana today. And the first thing I asked, I don't know if my wife was actually speaking to her sister about this. I don't know if they heard. And the first thing I asked is, "Hey, how much is it going to cost?" You know, because that's what it is. Because samar madawan, you got to put money in, right?
I think they
If you
also
don't
have
put,
an insurance policy for that in Jamaat Khana, also burial insurance policy or something like that, which I used to contribute to when I was an Ismaili.
well, burial insurance I can agree with, okay, because not everybody can actually all of a sudden pay off
Of
big
course.
funeral costs. That's fine. But
Hello.
what I can't
speak, please?
understand. Sorry.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please carry on.
It's going on and on. So only thing I wanted to say is this. Allah says himself that I am the only one who has a Noor, or who is the whole and soul. If you start splitting it, that I also have got Noor, you also has got Noor, then the concept of Allah, oneness of Allah goes away. No
Correct.
one.
No, I need to argue that point with you, Mr.
All
Patel,
right,
if
you
I
can
may.
argue afterwards, please. Let me finish.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
You
Okay.
go on.
Let me know when you finish.
You
Go
go
on.
on in between. So please keep quiet and let us talk. So when the Allah says that He is the only Noor, that Noor is split. That Noor splitting is what you are going to do. You are creating other Allahs, like Aga Khans and all. So the whole
Correct.
concept is Allah is Allah alone. No one is like Him. No one has gone in Noor or anything else. Because once you start splitting Allah, creating someone else, then the whole concept of Allah goes away. So once you have anything about Allah, you have to first remember Allah. Say, La ilaha illallah. Nobody is like anyone else except Allah. So
Correct.
if you start splitting, believing anyone else, whether he is a Noor or he is Allah, now Aga Khan has a Noor is a big laughing matter, because he's a illegitimate son. He's a whatever it is. He is a whatever you can. He's not a good man. So
Correct.
why he should have a Noor of Allah in him, that to pray him or to worship him? So the people those who are worshipping, and including Aga Khan, they are going to be the deepest part of the hell, because like
They're committing shirk.
Firaun, he will be taken with all his followers into the hell. No one else. Pay God what is money you want to get in the first or second or whatever stage you want. It's use your own money, as you said, or give it to the poor, not to the this adulteress or something, to enjoy his sex life. I think this is where Ismaili Aga Khan, not Ismaili, Aga Khan should understand that look, why we are doing it. But if you can't understand, you can't follow them. You can't understand, make them follow. If they are so blind, and if they are going to do what they are going to do, whatever you say, they won't believe. They won't agree. Because that's what they are saying, as Salim Sahar said, that they are blind, they have brainwashed and all. Yes. So no point in asking them whether he is good or bad, or whether he will take
Correct.
us to Jannah. So
Gulam bhai, if it's okay with you, I would like to say a couple of things about
yes,
what
by
you
all
said,
means.
and you can respond to what I say. See, Gulam bhai, I agree with you 100% that this man himself is a sinner, like us, like the normal mortal beings that we are. We sometimes do the right thing, we don't do the right thing, and so does Aga Khan. But if you look at Aga Khan and an average person, okay, put Aga Khan on one side and an average person on the other side, or let's put his murid on the other side. If you compare the moral character of Aga Khan's murid to the moral character of Aga Khan's murid is a much better character than Aga Khan himself.
100%
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
I
Correct?
100% agree with you.
100%. Okay. So let me expand on that a little bit. An average person, okay, does an average person commit adultery? No. Even if they do they get caught like Aga Khan does with his pants down? Twice. Twice. Okay, not once. Okay, and now he goes around
Oh.
with a girlfriend at this age. So not only that, but from the financial viewpoint, how many murids basically betray their own country that they live in? Most of the murids that I know are respectable people, Ismaili people, Aga Khani people are respectable people, just like Muslims are, just like Christians are, just like anybody is. Okay. So Aga Khan is a financial criminal, number one. How many Murids are financial criminals? Yes, we know a few people, Ismaili people, like other people, who have gone to jail for doing the wrong thing. Okay. But only few people. Aga Khan has done this between him and his grandfather for 125 years now, if not more. Okay, now the what I've spoken about here is only from the worldly side. Now let's come to the Islamic side. He's a criminal from Islamic side as well. When we talk about shirk, like Farhan was talking about, okay, you cannot get a purer form of shirk than Aga Khan. Other people may have committed shirk in the past, but the form of shirk, the practice of shirk that the Aga Khan is basically doing, you cannot get a better example of shirk than Aga Khan. And the reason why I say that is he not only becomes a god, an Islamic god, but he becomes a Hindu god as well.
Salim bhai, I will intervene over here as well as far as shirk goes.
Yes.
In Jamaat Khanas, you are not
Yes.
supposed to submit to another person. जमात खाने में क्या होता है? मुखी कामरिया एक साइड पे बैठे होते हैं, सामने बाकी ये मुरीद दूसरी साइड पे. तो जब सजदा आप करते हो तो आप एक दूसरे को सजदा कर रहे हो, तो शिर्क वहां पे भी हो गया. भले तुम आगा खान को हटा लो, साइड पे हटाओ कि भाई उसको खुदा नहीं मानते, मगर जब तुम एक दूसरे को सजदा कर रहे हो तो वो शिर्क उसमें भी आ गया. That's a second form of shirk as well. तो खाली आगा खान को खुदा मानने से शिर्क नहीं कर रहे, एक दूसरे को सजदा करने से भी ये लोग शिर्क कर रहे.
तो बोलने का मतलब ये है कि शिर्क सिर्फ आगा खान नहीं कर रहा है, मुरीद भी कर
रहे हैं. शिर्क पूरे इंस्टीट्यूशन के अंदर एम्बेडेड हुआ है.
अच्छा, ये पॉइंट पे मुझे एक बात याद आ गई. ये पॉइंट पे मुझे एक बात और याद आ गई. अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था, तो ये तो अभी फरहान आपने जो बोला वो तो इस्लामिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बोला कि शिर्क जो है आगा खान भी कर रहा है और ये मुरीद भी कर रहे हैं सारे. तो मुरीद भी इतने ही गिल्टी है इस्लामिक क्राइम में जितना आगा खान है ना.
आगा खान तो शिर्क कर रहा है, चलो वो एक दूसरे को सजदा भी नहीं कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना सलीम भाई. चलो अभी आगा खान को बीच में लेके आओ, सजदे को साइड पे हटा दो, ठीक है ना. शिर्क जो है आगा खान करे ना करे, मुझे उससे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. मुझे ये है, मुझे सिर्फ उसके जो गलेबल नाइव फॉलोअर्स हैं वो शिर्क इस तरह से कर रहे हैं क्योंकि उसको वो जो है they're putting him on a pedestal of God. So that is shirk already, whether they're bowing down to each other or not, but they are giving him that place of God. So they are committing shirk already. They're giving him that status. There you go. So they are committing shirk already.
So we agree. We all agree that Aga Khan is committing shirk and the Murids are committing shirk.
Exactly. That's what exactly I said earlier. That Aga Khan is doing the shirk as well as Murids.
Yes.
And we all know if you are doing shirk and all, you will be going to the hell. So he is going to. So that's no point in arguing that he is doing or his Aga. Unfortunately, his Murids are so brainwashed that they just follow him the whatever says. So
Yes.
once they are doing anything, and they are Aga Khanis, and they don't want to do anything else, so we can't help them. But the
Yes.
thing is,
Yes.
once they are doing sirk, that's it. That's what it is. That
Yes.
they don't think that they are doing anything wrong,
Yes.
because Aga
But
Khan is.
now, if you would have said this to me, Gulam Bhai, if you would have said this to me 50 years ago, I would have agreed. But now I don't agree, because now these Ismailis know that they are doing the wrong thing. They know it.
Now it's up to them.
But they are not accepting
Then
it.
they know it. Okay, we are doing these things wrong.
You
There is
see,
a financial wrongdoing. There is a Islamic wrongdoing. Particularly, I've been saying this for 1.5 years, and my voice has penetrated the Ismaili Jamaat Khana. Everybody knows that I have been talking about shirk, that Aga Khan is committing and the Muris are committing. But Gulam Bhai, they have chosen to remain quiet. They know it. And the reason why they've chosen to remain quiet is that they don't want to lose their social club. They want to keep the social club at any cost, because that social club, remember, is not only a social club, it is a financial club as well. It is the Jamaat Khana. That's where the business deals are closed. Okay, it is a Jamaat Khana where leaders are getting the opportunity to dip their hands into the millions of dollars per annum that are taken from the poor people. So the leaders in the Jamaat Khana are getting that opportunity to dip their hands. The
Yep.
Jamaat is enjoying it because they get to socialize, they get to show off their clothes, they get to show off their beauty, they get to show off their cars.
And
Why
that
not?
creates a big complex also in Jamaat Khanas, with
Correct.
people who are middle class or lower class, because now you have fights inside the house because kids want to dress the way their rich friends dress, and they keep bullying
Correct.
their parents कि नहीं मुझे ये चाहिए,
Correct.
आज खुशहाली है, मुझे नया
हाँ.
सूट चाहिए, मुझे नए जूते चाहिए, और सूट भी जो है वॉलमार्ट का नहीं चाहिए, टारगेट का नहीं चाहिए, मुझे जाना है लीमन मार्केट
हाँ.
जाना है या अरमानी से लेना है. So
अरमानी से लेना है.
that's another financial burden on the families. First, एक तरफ से
Absolutely.
तुम आगा खान को अपनी जेब में से दे रहे हो, दूसरी तरफ से अभी अपने बच्चे की ख्वाहिश. हाँ, हर माँ बाप को अपने बच्चे की ख्वाहिश सबसे ऊपर लगती है, मगर पहले आगा खान की ख्वाहिश,
हाँ.
फिर बच्चे की ख्वाहिश, और फिर उसके
बिल्कुल.
बाद भाई पैसे हैं तो लेंगे बेटा, पहले दसों तो पे कर लें.
हाँ, और यही प्रेशर जो है, आप जो बोल रहे हो कपड़े के बारे में, जूतों के बारे में, यही प्रेशर गरीब लोगों के ऊपर है फिदाई में ज्वाइन होने का.
वही
उनकी उनकी ये ख्वाहिश होती है कि भाई मैं कब फिदाई में जाऊं, मैं कब जो है कि नूरानी में जाऊं. ठीक है, अब वो अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाते, वो पैसे अपना पेट काट काट कर जो है वो मजलिस में उनको जाना है. अब गरीबों के लिए भी कोई रियायत नहीं है.
एग्जैक्टली
कि भाई आप जो है कि कोई बात नहीं, चलो जमात खाने आ जाओ, ये मजलिस में आ जाओ, नहीं. तो ये एक प्योर बिजनेस है. इसमें रिलीजन जैसा या स्पिरिचुअलिटी जैसा मुझे एक चीज तो कोई दिखा दो, कोई एक इस्माइली आओ मेरे सामने यहाँ पर, और एक तो मुझे बताओ कि भाई यहाँ पर कुछ रिलीजन है, कुछ रिस्पेक्ट है, कुछ स्पिरिचुअलिटी है, लेकिन कोई नहीं आ रहा है. ये जो कायर लोग आ रहे हैं, रमीन खान है, करीम फिदाई है.
सलीम भाई, मैं आपको एक बात बोलूं, जब मैं लाइक आई सेड, मैं जो इस्माइली नहीं हूं, जब मैं इस्माइली होता था तो ऑफ कोर्स मेरी फैमिली कोई अमीर नहीं थी. वी वर नॉट इवन अपर मिडिल क्लास, वी वर जस्ट मिडिल क्लास. ठीक है ना. तो जब खुशियां आती थी, मैं अपने दोस्तों को देखता था कि यार वो लोग अच्छा सूट पहने, मुझे भी पहनना है. अब यार मेरे माँ बाप के पास पैसे होते थे तो ठीक है चलो ले लो, नहीं होते थे तो वही पहनते थे जो पहले पहना हुआ है. ठीक है ना, मगर कॉम्प्लेक्स हो जाता है. अब जब से हिदायत मुझे मिली है अल्लाह के करम और फजल से, मैंने इस्माइलिज्म छोड़ा, अब मैं सुन्नी मुस्लिम हूँ, अब मैं मस्जिद जाता हूँ. ठीक है ना. अब अगर आप कोई इस्माइली को ऑर्डिनरी डे पे भी देखो ना, तो अगर वो जीन्स और शर्ट में आया तो अच्छी तरह से होके आए, अच्छी सेंट लगा के आए, ये हो. अब मैं अगर मस्जिद जाता हूँ, मेरे छोटे 4 साल का बेटा है मेरा, उसको अगर मैं मगरिब की नमाज पे लेके जाता हूँ, तो व्हाट डू आई डू? You go to the masjid. पहले जो है जब मैं शुरू में जाता था तो मैं भी जो है ड्रेसअप होके जाता था. फिर मैंने देखा यार लोग ड्रेसअप नहीं हो रहे हैं यहाँ पे. They're coming in normal clothes. तो मैं अपने बेटे को जो है जीन्स पहना देता हूँ. मैं खुद टी शर्ट और जीन्स में चला जाता हूँ. कोई लोग जो अपने पजामों में आए हुए होते हैं. I'm not saying get dressed down when you go to masjid. Wear your nice clothes. Go. But फैशन शो नहीं है यार. एंड
फैशन शो
वहां पे कोई बैठा हुआ नहीं है हाथ खोल के कि भाई हमें पैसे दो. वहां पे डोनेशंस बॉक्सेस बने हुए हैं. उसके अंदर है सदका, ज़कात, डोनेशन, मस्जिद फंड. आपके पास है आप दो. नहीं है आपको कोई नहीं पूछेगा तुमने दिया नहीं दिया. जुमे की नमाज पे हम लोग जाते हैं. मैं कोशिश करता हूं मैं जाऊं, मेरे बेटे को भी लेके जाऊं हर फ्राइडे. वहां पे नमाज खत्म होती है, जुमे की नमाज खत्म होती है और इमाम साहब या जो दूसरा बंदा है वो आते हैं, बोलते हैं कि भाई आपको जो है प्लीज सपोर्ट योर लोकल मस्जिद, क्योंकि हम लोगों के जो है ये मस्जिद आप लोगों की डोनेशन से चलती है. तो you know, put in $5, $10, $20 if you have it. Please do. It is an obligation on you because this is your local masjid to support your local masjid. अब अगर आप नहीं दो, कभी मेरे पास कैश होता है तो मैं दे देता हूँ, नहीं होता है तो मैं नहीं देता हूँ. And then I try to make up for it later. मगर मुझे आके कोई नहीं बोलता कि भाई तूने क्यों नहीं डाला इसके अंदर पैसा डाल. और एग्जिट ऑफ द मस्जिद में भी खड़े होते हैं डब्बे लेके कि भाई डाल दो. I see a lot of people not putting anything in there. It's not mandatory. You know, so that's another thing as well.
मैंडेटरी तो किसी भी मजहब में नहीं है. ये बात पे जो है कि ये नूरानी जो मजहब है, ये नूरानी मजहब के अंदर मैं तो बोलता हूँ कि ये एक क्रिमिनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है और मुरीदों को भी मालूम है कि ये क्रिमिनल है और आगा खान को भी मालूम है. ठीक है, लेकिन अभी मैं थोड़ी देर पहले किसी से बात कर रहा था तो उसने मुझे ये बताया कि अमेरिका में ये लॉ है. अब मुझे तो नहीं मालूम है, उसको मालूम होगा और आपको अगर मालूम है तो आप कंफर्म करना ये बात को
जी
कि अगर आगा खान एक क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी चला रहा है, जैसे उसने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में लिखा है कि मुखी इज अपॉइंटेड बाय मी. ये मेरा आदमी है और मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो हो रहा है. ठीक है, अगर वो बोल रहा है वो हो रहा है तो जमात खाने में तो क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी हो रही है कि पैसे लिए जाते हैं लेकिन उसका कोई हिसाब किताब नहीं है. ठीक है, तो ये क्रिमिनल हो गया. अब जो है कि कोई मुझे क्या कह रहा था कि आगा खान तो है ही है क्रिमिनल लेकिन जमात भी है. तो मैंने उसको पूछा क्यों, जमात क्यों है? तो कहता है कि अगर आपको एक क्राइम हो रहा है और आपको ये बात पता है कि ये क्राइम हो रहा है तो यू आर अ क्रिमिनल बाय एसोसिएशन. ये लॉ है.
यस
है ना. तो अब जो है कि जमात को काफी फिक्र करनी चाहिए इस बात के ऊपर कि अथॉरिटीज जो है वो क्या कदम लेती है, कब लेती है, मुझे नहीं मालूम है, लेकिन इतना मुझे मालूम है कि वो काम शुरू हो चुका है. ये अथॉरिटीज जो है जमात खाने में कल पहुंचने वाली है कि अगले साल पहुंचेगी मुझे नहीं मालूम है, लेकिन इतना मुझे मालूम है कि अथॉरिटीज ने काम शुरू कर दिया है. ठीक है, तो क्रिमिनल आप अगर इस्माइली हैं और आप मेरी बातों को सुन रहे हैं तो आप सुन लीजिए. मैं इंग्लिश में भी अभी बोलूंगा थोड़ी देर में कि इफ यू आर अगर आप आगा खान तो क्रिमिनल है ही है. ठीक है, उसमें कोई शक नहीं रहा है और उसको भी मालूम है कि मैं क्रिमिनल हूं, इसीलिए तो सलीम लालानी के सामने नहीं आया वो. ठीक है ना. लेकिन जमात भी क्रिमिनल है. अगर ये आदमी ने जो मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन दी है वो सच है कि जमात को मालूम है क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी हो रही है तो जमात भी क्रिमिनल है. और खास तौर पे मुखी साहब तो है ही है क्योंकि उसने पैसे हैंडल किए हैं. अगर किसी को कोई पकड़ के लेके जाएगा, पुलिस लेके जाएगा तो मुखी साहब को और उन अमलदारों को लेके जाएगा, कामड़िया साहब को, मुखियानी माँ को, कामड़ियानी माँ को, और जो दूसरे अमलदार है जो पैसे लेते हैं उनको पकड़ के लेके जाएंगे या उन पे कार्रवाई होगी. तो मैं यही बात को इंग्लिश में दोहरा देता हूँ कि I was talking to a friend of mine only about a few minutes before the program, that is, and he gave me piece of information that I didn't have until today. So, you know what he said? That if there is a criminal activity going on somewhere in a systematic way, like it is happening in the Jamaat Khana, and if you are an innocent party and you are a witness to the criminal activity, and you have not reported that criminal activity to the authorities, then you have become criminal by association. In other words, the Jamaat Khana members are also considered criminals if they have not reported the activity conducted by the Mukhi Sahib. So, any comments on that? Joshua, once you finish your apple, I would like to hear from you. I've become too used to your voice, but keep it short.
Keep it short. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I
okay.
totally agree. And in England, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you
do you live in England?
I live in England. Yes, I live in the Midlands of England, in Nottingham.
Areva. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the whole thing in there is that if you are in the vicinity of a crime and you know the person committing the crime, and you don't have to commit the crime. You know the person, you know the crime has been committed, you don't report it, and you are party to the crime. And if that person has committed a murder and he's hung, or not hung, we don't do hanging anymore, but if he gets a life sentence, so do you.
Yes.
You get a life sentence as well. So you get the same sentence as the person committing the crime because you were a criminal by association.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That is the correct word, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crime by association.
Crime by association is the correct word. But when you said previously, I forget now. I wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
Oh, but
just before you go for the comment, think about it. I'll come back to you. But there was a comment by a friend of mine, and he said that prove the Noor of Allah in Aga Khan, and I'll pay you 10 lakh rupees.
Look, I tell you what. Tell him to get the money ready. I can prove it. No, I can't.
Oh no, get the money ready. Aga Khan will be the first one to prove it.
No. You, Farhan, stop it. I've already claimed the money, right? I'm not going to fight anyone for the money. Okay,
I'm sorry.
All right?
Splitting over here.
No, but when I came on the show before, I already proved that, yes, I totally agree. And I'm not opposing the fact that Aga Khan has got the Noor.
No, Joshua, there is a twist. There's a twist. What you said is Aga Khan has got the Noor just like you do. But this guy, he will only pay you 10 lakh rupees if you prove that Aga Khan is the only one that's got the Allah's Noor.
Okay, that I can't prove.
You don't have the Noor.
Don't worry. If you don't get the money, Aga Khan will come on the show next week then. To prove he has because he wants that money.
That's it. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I'm getting a call coming in. Yes. Aga Khan's got a farman ready for this one.
अच्छा, तो फतवा जारी हो गया है इसके ऊपर अभी.
फतवा.
I can't prove.
अच्छा, मैंने उर्दू में नहीं बोला, ये ऑफर खाली इंग्लिश में बोला है. तो करीम भाई फिदाई और वो रमीन खान, कहाँ गए आप? आपके लिए 10 लाख रुपया तैयार है. आप जो है कि तैयार हो जाओ. ये इसको जो है कि इसका मैं आपको नाम देता हूं. इसका ये नांजी कांजी, इसका नाम है नांजी कांजी, और इसकी डिटेल मैं आपको दूंगा. मुझसे कांटेक्ट कीजिएगा यूट्यूब पे. तो आपका चैलेंज ये है करीम भाई और रमीन भाई कि आपको ये साबित करना है कि आगा खान में अल्लाह का नूर है और हम किसी में भी नहीं है. हम सारे गए गुजरे और आगा खान के अंदर वो नूर है. आपको ये साबित करना है. 10 लाख रुपए आपको मिल जाएंगे, ये हमारी गारंटी.
और फिर 12.5% रेडी रखना 10 के लिए.
हाँ वो तो हाँ एग्जैक्टली वो 10 लाख में से 12.5% कट
नहीं,
जाएंगे।
वो पूरा ही उसको चला जाएगा ना, जमात खाने में मेहमानी करवाएगा, अव्वल सुफ्रो लेगा, पहली बात तो वो है 5 लाख की तो अव्वल सुफ्रो ले लेगा वो, फिर जो है वो दुआ करावी
फरहान
करवाएगा, छांटे करवाएगा।
फरहान तू अभी तक इस्माइली तो नहीं है ना?
नहीं अल्लाह का
हाँ?
शुक्र है नहीं हूँ भाई मैं।
Why you are looking after Aga Khan's pocket? What's wrong with you?
I'm just mocking him is what I'm doing. I don't care about his pocket.
You're making sure that if anyone wins the money, they've got to pay the son.
Yeah, well, I mean, they will obviously if you're
Like
Qattar, like I
otherwise,
like to say, Qattar Ismaili, you will pay it.
like when I used to go to Khane, otherwise used to say that તમે વ્યાધી નહીં કરો. જો તમે દસોન નહીં દ્યો તો બીજા હાથે આગા ખાન લઈ લેશે. બીજી રસ્તે તમારા પાસે લઈ લેશે. Everybody thought, shit, I better pay this because if he takes it from another hand, he may take more.
You know, the funny thing is that when I renounced Ismailism, I was scared to tell my parents. And of course I would. And my parents, when I did that, my parents were very upset. And they, you know, these are the words of my father. And I mean, I have a good relationship with my parents right now. But my parents were so heartbroken. My dad said, these were his last words in that conversation. He said, "Tumhe tumhara naya mazhab mubarak ho." And he said it with pain inside of him because he was so heartbroken. But anyways, after that, when I think that what was it, Diamond Jubilee, Century Jubilee, कौन सी थी अभी recently जो हुई थी 2-3 साल पहले जब वो अपने दीदार पे निकले हुए थे, तो he was coming to Houston, and I know inside my mother wanted me to go for didar, but she could not utter those words because she knew what my response would be. So my mamu, my mother's brother, he called me one day and he said, "Beta," and him and I have a very good relationship, very open relationship. And he said, "Beta, you know, the didar is happening, this and that in Houston." I said, "Yes, it is, mamu. Are you gonna go?" He said, "Yes." He's like, "Can you do me one thing?" And I said, "What is that?" And I knew this was about to take a turn. And he said, "Not for you, not for anybody, for your mother. Can you do this?" And I knew exactly. He said, "Can you go to the didar?" And I said, "For whose sake?" He said, "For my mother. I mean, for your mother." And I said, "Do you want me to go to the pit of hell for my mother?" I said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to take my mother out of this religion." But you know, that's how it is, man. That's how Ismaili think.
That is another trait of an Ismaili. It's emotional blackmail.
That exactly.
You know, that's what it is. It happens everywhere. You're not the only one who felt that. But if I can ask you,
I've got this Karim Fidai guy. He texted me about 20 minutes ago, and he says, Salim bhai, Karim Fidai is me. Do you want me to join the stream? Of course, we want you to join the stream. Yes, why not? Zahid, इसको ऐड करो बेटा. करीम फिदाई को ऐड करो जरा, हम उनकी आवाज सुने, उनसे एक वॉइस सुने.
अरे यार मैं
हमको कुछ नॉलेज मिले.
सर वो इस टाइम नहीं है, ही इज आउट.
अच्छा, वो नहीं आ रहा है?
नहीं सर, अभी नहीं है, वो लॉग आउट हो गया.
अच्छा
यार सलीम भाई, आप क्या कर रहे हो? आपको पता नहीं है जब आप लाइट ऑन करते हो तो कॉकरोच भागते हैं सारे इधर उधर.
लेकिन यार ये कॉकरोच ने वापस टेक्स्ट किया है मुझे.
हाँ, तो कॉकरोच छुप के करता है ना, लाइट ऑन करो तो वापस भाग जाता है, फिर लाइट ऑफ करो तो वापस भाग आता है. वही तो इट्स कंटिन्यूअस.
वो पीछे से ही करता है, मुझे टेक्स्ट करता है. Yes, absolutely. Arjun, your comment is very valid. A lot of Ismaili knowledge is stolen from Hinduism and they apply it to themselves. Absolutely spot on. As a matter of fact, a very significant portion of Ismaili, we shouldn't use the term Ismaili anymore. We should refer to them as Aga Khanis. Because there's a huge difference between Ismailis and Aga Khanis. Not all Ismailis are Aga Khanis. We should understand that. अच्छा, अमीन चारिनी is making a comment. सलीम भाई, ये नूर कोई पैंट शर्ट नहीं है कि आप निकाले और बाप निकाले बेटा पहन ले. Very good, well said, well said.
I like that
और
comment.
yeah, I like that too, and we should talk about this in a minute. But Noor Tailor, नूर किरियाना स्टोर, नूर ब्यूटी पार्लर, ये सब आगा खान, नूर हाजा अल्लादा, पता नहीं क्या लिखा है, लेकिन हाँ, लेकिन हम पॉइंट समझ गए आपकी. वी आर पोअर, आई सेड टू मेक द बिल्डिंग विद दस ऑन मनी एंड दे आर सेइंग ओके. तो ये सारी बातें जो है कि नूर की, तो इस पे मुझे एक बात याद आई थी, लेकिन अब मैं वो भूल गया हूँ वो बात. तो आप किसी को कोई कमेंट करनी है?
नहीं, मुझे तो तफरी लेने में मजा आ रही थी अभी ये कमेंट्स के ऊपर और ये सब
नहीं,
जो है.
हम देखो तफरी ज्यादा नहीं लेंगे क्योंकि ये प्रोग्राम तफरी वाला नहीं है.
जी
ये
जी, आई नो.
प्रोग्राम बहुत ही सीरियस वाला प्रोग्राम है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही बड़ा स्कैम चल रहा है जहाँ पर गरीबों को लूटा जा रहा है, बेवकूफ बनाया जा रहा है. और हम चाहते हैं कि ये लोग सामने आए, लेकिन ये नहीं आते हैं और ये आ ही नहीं सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये आएंगे तो उनको अच्छी तरह मालूम है उसकी कैसी पिटाई होने वाली है, तो वो हमसे दूर भागते हैं, है ना?
एग्जैक्टली.
सलीम भाई,
क्योंकि देखो ना, ये एक मिनट, करीम फिदाई, रमीन यहाँ तक तो आ गए, लेकिन मेरे सामने आने की हिम्मत इनकी नहीं है. अब इनकी कहाँ से होगी कि जब इनके आगा खान की हिम्मत नहीं है मेरे सामने आने की, इनके मिशनरियों की हिम्मत नहीं है मेरे सामने आने की, तो कहाँ से आएंगे ये लोग, बताइए? तो करीम भाई आप बिल्कुल भी फिक्र नहीं करो, रमीन भाई आप भी फिक्र नहीं करो, जब आपका मौला नहीं आया आप क्या होगे? Yeah, Joshua.
Yeah, if I may say something, I think what we need to portray to these Ismailis is that what we're not portraying so far is we don't want to mock them. We don't want to do anything with them. We want them to come on, and if they're saying that, look, I'm an Ismaili, I paid us on, and like the guy at the door, remember you were doing some financial services for a gentleman, and you said to him that, look, you know how much you're paying into Kane. Why don't you reduce that? Reduce the pressure on your family where there's a lot of fighting, violence, and a lot of problems, right? And he got up and he went to the door, and what did he say to you? Salim bhai, I will die, but I will not stop paying money in Kane.
Exactly.
All right? We want that guy. We want guys like him to come here and say, guys, listen, I will die, but I will not leave the Aga Khan. Okay, I totally agree. And I respect you for it. But I want to know why. That's what we want to know. We are here. We have left Ismailism. We want to learn from these other Ismailis that why are they so zealous?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were zealous at one time. So was I. I was zealous at one time as well. I was a big Ismaili. But the thing is, I changed and I learned the truth. You know what they say? The truth will set you free. I want them to come here and say, you know what? You may think the truth has set you free, but the truth is in Ismailism, and I am free. I want an Ismaili to come and say that to us and say, look, I am free in Ismailism because the Aga Khan is this. This is why the Aga Khan's got Noor. This is where the Aga Khan's Noor pours out. I want to hear these things. And now there are 15 million Ismailis. There are 15 million Ismailis. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this show. 5 people.
Unfortunately,
and they cannot answer 5 people
Joshua, because they don't have the answer. That's the thing. They never have the answer.
We have Hashim Mirza. Hashim Mirza, please go ahead.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
हाँ आ रही है, बिल्कुल आ रही है, बोलिए.
मैं बस ये कहना चाह रहा था कि मैं अभी काफ़ी से पहले मैंने रिसर्च की थी ना लोगों पे, आगा खानी की कम्युनिटी कैसे काम करती है, कैसे वर्क करती है.
हाँ जी.
तो अब फिर मैं अपने कामों में मसरूफ़ हो गया, मैंने फिर छोड़ दिया इनको. अभी फिर मुझे 5-6 दिन पहले किसी से सुनने में आया कि आगा खानी की कम्युनिटी फिर काम कर रही है, फिर उनका कोई सिस्टम चल रहा है. तो मैंने रिसर्च किया, तो मैंने आपका चैनल देखा कि आप इस पर काम कर रहे हैं ऑलरेडी. तो मैं बस ये कहना चाह रहा था मतलब कि जब मैंने इन पे स्टडी की थी ना कि मैं देखना चाह रहा था ये लोग कैसे काम करते हैं, क्या इनमें मतलब इनका बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, इनका आइडियोलॉजी क्या है। तो मतलब कि हमें ये बिल्कुल कोई रैशनैलिटी, कोई लॉजिक कुछ नज़र ही नहीं आया इनमें। तो मैं फिर भी हैरान हूँ कि ये कम्युनिटी चलती कैसे है, ये कम्युनिटी काम कैसे कर रही है, जो लोगों का इतना बिलीफ जो है इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग कैसे है। जैसे जो
हाँ,
फरहान भाई के जो बता रहे हैं पेरेंट्स हैं कि उनको
हाँ,
बुरा लगा कि फरहान भाई ने छोड़ दिया स्माइलिज्म। तो मतलब
हाँ।
तो आगे क्या समझ नहीं आया मुझे कि इनमें क्या चीज़ रहती है कि इनका जो बिलीफ है ये रुका हुआ है किसी चीज़ पे। इतनी मतलब अजीब सी बात।
नहीं, आपका सवाल मैं नहीं समझा। कोई सवाल है आपका?
अभी संभाल नहीं, मतलब बस कमेंट करना चाह रहा था।
अच्छा, अच्छा, कमेंट करना चाह रहे थे कि
हम्म।
आपको समझ नहीं आया कि ये इतने कट्टर क्यों हैं?
इतने कट्टर क्यों है इनके पास, क्या बिलीफ के बेसिस क्या है इनके पास, क्या चीज़ है इनके पास ऐसी।
हाँ, तो उनकी जो बिलीफ सिस्टम है ना, उस
हम्म।
इसके ऊपर मैंने पूरी सीरीज़ बनाई है। तो आप बराए मेहरबानी आप वो सीरीज़ देखिए। उसमें मैंने हर चीज़ को कवर किया है। बिलीफ सिस्टम को भी किया है और आपको हर किस्म का जवाब उसमें मिल जाएगा। तो आप ज़रूर देखना वो एपिसोड सॉरी सीरीज़।
अब बिल्कुल मैंने चैनल सब्सक्राइब किया आपका, मैं देखूंगा इंशाल्लाह।
अरे वाह! माशाअल्लाह। अच्छा, गुलाम भाई, डू यू हैव एनी अदर कमेंट्स टू मेक? You've been quiet for quite a long time. All right. So, guys, it's now been 1.5 hours almost. And if you don't have any other comments, we will leave it here. Zahid, just before we go, just tell me if there are any questions or any comments that we should take before leaving the stream.
Yes, sir. There are few. I will display on the screen. You can read and answer them.
Yeah, please display them. Obeying others over Allah is shirk. Ismaili Muris should be well informed, but they have been highly brainwashed. Okay? Yeah.
Of course.
Aga Khani ladies is the reason for youngsters' mental bullying. That's why my youngsters not going to Jamaat Khana even after their parents force. Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of social pressure in the Ismaili Jamaat Khana. Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, when you
Yep,
have women
next.
dressed up the way they are.
Yeah. Aga Khan has special Noor, provided Ismailis Murids, period. I don't know. Provided by the Ismaili Murids. Okay. The system is no matter how deprived you are financially, you need to continue to pay. Even the concept of zakat is not like that. Allah remained merciful and fair with human beings. Yep, good point. Your evil intention against our Imam. He is doing so much for Ismailis and humankind, and you don't have any respect. Karim Saab, we will not respect you or your Imam or your comments because you are a coward. If you are here and you wouldn't face me, come and face me. You don't have to show me your face. I'm not all that interested. But at least talk to me. Let's have a one-on-one conversation that I'm being insulting to your imam. You should be challenging me and you should allow me to counter you. What you are now doing is you are displaying your cowardice. Yeah, so we will not respect you or your imam. Yeah, Ramin is equal to typical Ismaili. Yeah, okay, next. We are poor, and I said to make the building. I don't understand this. Yeah, next. Uh, Dave has a question. If some people want to believe Aga Khan and they want to pay him donation, it's their personal decision. Who are we to intervene in the matter? No one. We are not intervening in people paying donation to Aga Khan. We are only saying that why should there be so much social pressure and religious pressure on the murid to pay? Why are they basically threatening the murids with the punishment of hell, where they will be burnt alive? Why? If people want to give out of their love for somebody, that makes sense. But when poor people pay a rich person, that does not make sense. The rich person should pay the poor person. Would you agree with that? Okay, next.
Almost that's all, sir. Others are
That's
just
all?
comments.
All
And
right.
yeah, almost that's the
So,
question are the-
guys, if you don't have any other comments, we will say goodbye to you. And thank you so much to everyone, in particular Joshua, Farhan, Ghulam Muhammad Patel, and Hashim Mirza, and my great assistant Zahid. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your contribution, and I look forward to meeting you next Saturday, same place, same time, and hopefully we will start the English stream separate from the Urdu stream very soon. Yeah, just before we go, Joshua wants to make a comment. Yeah, Joshua.
Well, all I want to say is that I've just been on the chat stream, and I've seen that Mr. Damani feels that I've actually ruined the show.
Yeah.
So I'd like to apologize to him, and maybe he could come on and explain why. Why have I?
Yes.
Maybe I
Yes.
can. Maybe if he explains, then I can learn from that, and next week I won't do the same thing again and spoil the show for
Wonderful.
him. Because, well,
Wonderful.
if he wants to come on, I'm more than happy for him to come on to the extent where I will keep quiet and I'll just listen to everyone else as long as he comes on. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
we must have interaction from everybody.
Yes, we
Yeah,
must have the interaction, but we should
that's
also
right.
make sure that we give everybody an opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if I've
Okay.
taken over the show or ruined the show, I'm sorry. But and if he
No,
feels
that's
that way,
okay.
he
No,
should
no.
come on.
All we need to do is your contribution, Joshua, is very important. You made some beautiful points as far as I'm concerned, but
Thank you.
sometimes what happens in our excitement, we keep going on and on, and we don't realize that. I'm like you too. I when I get excited, when I become very happy, like you look very happy right now, when we are happy, when we are excited, we have so much to say. We keep going, but then what happens is that we only have 1.5 hours to talk, and there are so many people who want to participate. So I will encourage you to join us again next week. In fact, every week I want you to join, and please share your thoughts with us because they are very important. Okay, I'll go to Manoj Karmali. He has a question. Salim bhai, one comment. Yes, Manoj, what is the comment? Manoj,
Salim bhai, will
why
it be
don't
the same
you?
time next week?
Yeah,
Will
same
the
time.
same
It
time?
is
Okay, inshallah, I will be here.
every Saturday is the same time.
Okay, inshallah, I will be
But
here.
remember one thing, that next week we will have Urdu series, Urdu session, and then maybe on Sunday we'll have the English one.
कोई मुश्किल नहीं, मैं उर्दू भी बोल लूंगा, इंग्लिश भी बोल लूंगा. अभी आप अगर मुझे बोलो
अरे वाह.
गुजराती में फरमानों की तरह गुजराती में बोलो तो मैं वो नहीं बोल सकूंगा सर.
नहीं, मैं आपको बोलूंगा स्वाहिली में बोलो.
इस्माइली में बोलो, वो कौन सी लैंग्वेज होती है?
So
10वीं
anyway,
वाली.
अरे
पैसों में
इस्माइली
बोलना
नहीं,
पड़ेगा फिर मुझे.
नहीं
Swahili.
इस्माइली नहीं, स्वाहिली
Oh,
भाई.
Swahili. I thought you said Ismaili. I'm sorry.
स्वाहिली में बोलना पड़ेगा.
नहीं, वो भी नहीं, मैं इंग्लिश और उर्दू बोल दूंगा.
Like Joshua, just to make you feel so good, there is a comment here. Joshua is passionate like you, Salim bhai.
Thank
So
you.
you and me both are in the same category.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yes,
I
yes.
feel very honored.
Yes, you should be. Okay, good stuff. All right, guys, everybody, thank you for joining us. It was a wonderful session. We learned a lot from this, and we definitely proved to one and all that Aga Khan has got no special Noor.
Yeah.
We are all human beings, and so is Aga Khan. There's no reason for anyone to worship Aga Khan, and there's no reason to worship particularly Aga Khan, given that he is not only not an imam or anything like that, but he is actually a criminal. And at that point, I will basically say goodbye to everybody, and I'll see you next week, same place, same time. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Allah
Bye
Hafiz.
bye.
Goodbye, Salim. Goodbye,
Allah
Salim.
Hafiz.
Goodbye,
Allah Hafiz,
Farhan.
Allah Hafiz.
Sel,
Bye-bye.
see you later.
Bye bye.
See you.
Bye.
Hashem, see you
Inshallah.
later.